Like Texas roads, Texas bridges are some of the safest in the world. One reason for that is the Highway Bridge Program, a federal safety program established in 1978 to repair or replace unsafe bridges. Each fall, at the end of the fiscal year, TxDOT's Bridge Division, TxDOT districts, the Federal Highway Administration, and local governments begin a collaborative process to identify bridges in need of repair or replacement, fund eligible upgrades, and make the improvements. First, TxDOT inspects both on-system and off-system to determine whether they are in good condition or need work. On-system bridges are owned and maintained by the state. Off-system bridges are owned and maintained by cities and counties. The full inspection cycle takes 2 years, so each year, approximately half of Texas bridges are inspected. Once TxDOT determines which bridges need attention and meet the Federal Highway Administration's criteria for its funding program, district bridge coordinators work closely with local governments to identify the most important off-system projects in each area. They also collaborate on funding strategies, leveraging existing monies or adjusting local funding requirements where possible. Once local needs are identified, TxDOT prioritizes the project list at a statewide level, and the work begins. It sounds complicated, but it's really just a matter of good communication. Let's see what it looks like in action. Meet James Pohl, Bridge Coordinator in the Yoakum District. James has been doing this job for 8 years and can tell you about the entire process from the very beginning. James is not only a bridge coordinator, he's also a bridge inspector. So he's going to walk us through the process from the very beginning.
We got a lot of spalling and delamination underneath the bridge. See, what I'm checking is I've noticed from past inspections that this column is actually leaning upstream quite a bit. You hear the difference in the sound in this one and this one? This one's hollow.
All of these observations and more go into a bridge inspection. Once inspected, if a bridge is classified as functionally obsolete or structurally deficient, that bridge may be eligible for the Highway Bridge Program.
The structure is functionally obsolete because of the width is less than 24 foot wide.
A bridge is functionally obsolete if it is unable to serve current traffic because of inadequate width, vertical clearances, alignment between the bridge and the approach roadway, or if it is flooded occasionally. A structurally deficient bridge has an extreme restriction on load carrying capacity, deterioration severe enough to reduce the load carrying capacity from its original as-built levels, is closed, or is frequently overtopped during flooding and creates severe traffic delays. Bridges are also rated using a complex formula that results in a sufficiency rating, a calculation that combines several different weighted factors into one final score. SD and FO bridges with an SR of 80 or less are eligible for rehabilitation. SD and FO bridges with an SR of 50 or less are eligible for replacement. Once the classification process is complete for each year, the Bridge Division ranks all bridges according to their sufficiency rating. The bridges with the lowest sufficiency rating are given the highest priority for replacement or repair. Result? The Highway Bridge Program eligibility list. Once we compile this list, in order of highest to lowest priority bridge projects, we send it back out to the districts so they can work with their local governments to choose which projects on this list are the most important in their areas. The Bridge Division sends out the eligibility list to the district engineers, who then forward that list on to their bridge coordinators.
Yes, I got the new list. I'm comparing it to what we had last year. We've got several new bridges added in Wharton County. And I think,
at this point, James determines whose jurisdiction the eligible bridges in his district are in and begins to set up meetings with those people to discuss the projects. Because the Yoakum District has so many bridges on county land, James works most often with county commissioners to select and begin the projects. In other districts, the coordinator might work with a county or city engineer, a city council person, a commissioner's assistant, or another local government representative.
Commissioner Yannock, this is James Pohl with TxDOT. How are you doing today? All right, appreciate it. What I'm calling about is the Highway Bridge Program. The bridge list is in. And several of the bridges we've been talking about in your precinct made the list. Just hoping we could get together sometime and talk about which ones we actually want to try to program and maybe get started on as TxDOT projects.
The list of bridges eligible for the Highway Bridge Program is already prioritized by the time it is sent out to the districts, in order of worst bridges first. However, local considerations must still be taken into account in finalizing that list. For example, a bridge in better shape than several others, but still in need of upgrade, may move up on the list if it is the only access to a school or hospital, or plays some other important role in the area. These are the kinds of issues that TxDOT and local governments need to discuss when deciding which bridge projects to pursue.
If you don't mind, we probably should drive by that, take a look at it, and see if there's anything we might could do to get it moved up on the list.
Sure thing. That'd be a good idea.
This is the kind of discussion that bridge coordinators need to have with local officials when selecting bridge projects. Another very important issue to raise is funding.
I think we're looking at a $900,000 bridge or so. It'll be quite a bit for your 10% match, but can you think you can find enough structures?
I tell you, yes, Jim. Well, in fact, I'll show you one right now on Cahutic Road to see if it qualifies.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a drive by there and take a look at it.
It's the perfect time to do it.
The Highway Bridge Program is fiscally constrained, and the federal share for off-system bridges in Texas is $60 million per year. Communities can count on that source for 80% of an HBP project's funding. TxDOT covers 10%, and the remaining 10% is the responsibility of the local government. If the 10% share places too much of a financial burden on a local entity, there are 3 assistance programs designed to ease that burden for those entities: the Economically Disadvantaged Counties Program, the State Infrastructure Bank, and the Participation Waived Project Equivalent Match Project Program. The Economically Disadvantaged Counties Program supports counties by providing for TxDOT to cover a portion of a county's share for the cost of an HBP project. The amount of relief that eligible counties qualify for depends on those counties' ability to provide their share of project costs. The State Infrastructure Bank is a revolving account in the State Highway Fund that makes loans to local governments for critical projects like bridge improvements. The State Infrastructure Bank program allows borrowers to access funds at or lower than market rates and may be granted to any public or private entities authorized to construct, maintain, or finance an eligible transportation project. The assistance program that requires the most participation from TxDOT is the Participation Waived Project Equivalent Match Project Program. This program allows for TxDOT to provide the local government's 10% share of a project if that government can do structural work on one or more other deficient bridges in a dollar amount equal to their 10% match on the initial project. Let's listen to a real example.
I'm struggling on trying to come up with the 10% that is required to replace the Oliver Road Bridge. And so would these culverts right here, would they qualify?
This culvert is a very good candidate for an equivalent match project to match the Participation Wave TxDOT project on Oliver Road.
So actually, it doesn't have to be a bridge that has to be replaced. It actually could be as small as an 18-inch cross cover over a county road.
Any cross drainage, any structure that takes water across the road can qualify, whether it's an 18-inch pipe all the way up to large structures like this, culverts like this, or a bridge class structure. Another question I have, is it on a school bus route?
Yes, it is. It is on a school bus.
That's great. That's what the program is intended for, is to improve structures like this that are on school bus routes, to improve the safety for those buses.
Because see, I wasn't quite aware that you actually could go down to 18-inch. You could replace 18-inch cross culverts as long as they cross the county roads.
In fact, you can actually do low water crossings.
Unbelievable. It's interesting. And so because there's a lot of counties out there that actually think that you have to replace entire bridges to qualify for equivalent match projects, where they have to spend $60,000 or $70,000. So yeah, you actually can spend maybe $15,000 for a cross culvert to go toward your other bridge to replace.
Yes, and we've done projects where many small pipes, a couple $1,000s a piece. I'd rather do larger structures like this one, but if you have to do a number of small ones, we can make that work.
Okay.
These are among the many types of important discussions TxDOT must have with local government in order to produce the ideal list of bridge projects for a given district. One very important requirement for the Participation Waived Equivalent Match Program is the Advanced Funding Agreement. The Advanced Funding Agreement is a contract between TxDOT and the local government, collaborating on a given project. In order for a local government to be reimbursed for a Participation Waived Equivalent Match project, the Advanced Funding Agreement must be in place before work starts on that project. Communicating early and often about the Highway Bridge Program should ensure that these requirements are met and that all parties share the same expectations about what work will be done, when, and who will do it. Once the bridge coordinator has consulted with all the local government entities responsible for eligible bridges in his or her district, the coordinator sends a proposed project list to the Bridge Division that reflects and explains all modifications and additions.
Hey James, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I wanted to check to see if Commissioner Goodrich got with you on that bridge over the Guadalupe.
Yes, we got it on, it's on the bridge list this time. I'm headed out now to go talk to him about match projects.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
The division then coordinates all 25 separate lists into one prioritized statewide list of programmed projects. The list is programmed in continuous 4-year cycles. What that means is that each year, the Bridge Division establishes a new 4-year program made up of the previous 3 years of already programmed bridges, plus the bridges that have newly become eligible over the course of the previous year. As project development begins, the list can and usually does change. Details of each site or plan arise, which may affect a project's scope, budget, or schedule. Right-of-way acquisition, unforeseen change orders, and emergencies can delay a project, for example. So can the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, clearance process, which can reveal burial grounds, wetlands, species habitats, or watersheds, to name a few. Factors like these can result in adjustments to the list, so that some projects move up, some move back. Emergencies like floods or fires may cause a good bridge to fail, moving it to the list immediately and shifting the order of other projects. The Bridge Division makes the necessary changes to the list in its monthly review of the projects. At the end of the fiscal year, when the letting record is complete and it is clear which projects began that year, the whole process starts all over again. With the help of the Highway Bridge Program and our local partners, TxDOT is able to lead the nation in bridge safety. Since the inception of the program in 1978, TxDOT and our partners have improved more than half of Texas's off-system bridges. And although Texas has the largest bridge inventory in the nation, in 2011, we had less traffic on deficient bridges than any other state. We surpassed our own goal that 80% of our bridges be rated good or better by 2010, and we know we're only getting better. Improving bridges through the Highway Bridge Program is a very collaborative process, and when it's done right, everyone wins. Great communication makes for solid collaboration and safe bridges. Let's keep it that way.